Hey everybody, it's Mr. Patak here again. So in this video, I'm going to be reading you Chapter 11, A Sad Day from Minimus. And I'm going to even be giving you some of the English answers, actually all of the English answers. And then I'm going to ask you some questions about this story on the Google form. Things I want you to pay attention to right now is how the last video on the grammar, on how Latin words change their endings when they are the subject or the object, where you see it in this story, and how changing the ending affect or changing the spelling affects the way the word is used in a sentence. It should be pretty obvious, I think. So let's get started. This story is called Bad News. Candidus receives a letter from his friend Barates. Barates is very unhappy because his wife, Regina, has died. And here are the boxes. I'm going to read you the Latin first, and then I'm going to break the sentence down for you. Candidus epistulam accipit. So this thing right here is an epistula. Epistula. But in the sentence, it's spelled a little differently. Let's look a little bit closer at this. The regular way to spell the word is E-P-I-S-T-U-L-A, epistula. But in the sentence, it's spelled E-P-I-S-T-U-L-A-M. And the spelling, by adding the M on the end, lets me know that this version is the object in the sentence. So you're actually going to do this sentence. You're going to start with Candidus, whose spelling lets me know he's the subject. You go over to accipit. Now, accipit sounds like an English word, something that you do when you get a letter. You could say accepts or receives. And then you go from the action because the object is just the thing that you do the action to. So you go from the action to the object, and you get the English meaning. Candidus accepts the letter. And so the spelling of the word here told you what it was doing, even though the order of the Latin sentence is not the same as the order in the English sentence. It's actually the spelling of the Latin word that tells you the order you need to put it in English. So, one more time. Candidus epistulam accipit. Candidus accepts the letter. Let's move on. Number 2. I'm going to read it to you first, and then I'm going to break it down. Barates tristissimus est, quod regina mortua est. Okay, let's break this one down. If you look at the sentence, you have two parts that have the same sort of setup, but are connected by this word in the middle, quod. Barates tristissimus est, quod regina mortua est. So, what do you think this word quad has to mean? Think about it, because I'm going to show you the answer in just 1 second. Also, what do you think the word tristissimus and mortua have to mean? Barates tristissimus est, quod regina mortua est. Well, this means Barates is very sad because Regina is dead. You remember back to the introduction? His friend Barates, his wife Regina died, so he's very sad. And so in these sentences, one thing I want you to notice, which you should know already, but notice how est in the Latin sentences is your English word is. And you're changing the order slightly because Latin won't really have the same order as English. Barates is the word barates, but est is the word for is. And then tristissimos is the word for very sad. So you have to change the order a little bit with est. You kind of like put it right there. Barates tristissimos est. Barates is very sad. But Regina mortua est, because Regina is dead. Est again goes sort of in the middle because in English that's how we say it. Let's move on. Candidus tells Flavius and Lepidina the sad news. They decide to travel to Iboracum to attend Regina's funeral. Candidus will travel with Flavius and Lepidina to look after them on the journey. The other slaves will stay behind to take care of the rest of the family. Number 4, box 4. The sentence, Lepidina candidum curat. So, if you were paying attention during the grammar part, you should already notice something here. Candidus is this guy, but Lepidina candidum curat. Well, let's check the spelling very closely. The regular one, C-A-N-D-I-D-U-S. This one in the sentence, C-A-N-D-I-D-U-M. Remember how we said adding an M makes that word the object, usually? So here's how this sentence is broken down a little bit. Lepidina candidum curat. Lepidina takes care of Candidus. So because you changed the spelling of the word, it lets you know that it is the object. So you start with the subject. You start with Lepidina, and then you find out what she's doing. Well, she's doing curat, takes care of, which sounds like the English word cure, by the way. And then you come and find the object, because the object is just the thing that you're doing the action to. So, Lepidina candidum curat. In English, Lepidina takes care of Candidus. Now notice something here as well, which I want you to think about. Notice how the Latin name changes from Candidus to Candidum. But in English, we always say Candidus. Why do you think this is? Can you think of why this is? What I mean is, why don't we say, in my English sentence, Lepidina takes care of Candidum? Please think about that. I want you to think about why that is. I don't want to give you the answer right now. Let's move on. Box 5. I'm going to read you the sentence first. Corinthus equum et plaustrum parat. So this over here is Corinthus. This is an equus. This is a plaustrum. So Corinthus, horse, and wagon. And then what's he doing? Parat. He's preparing. So this is how your sentence looks when I break it down a little bit. Corinthus has my normal spelling, so he's my subject, because he doesn't have that fancy M on it that we normally add. So then you find what he's doing. Parat. Okay, maybe you need to figure out what that is by looking it up, but I'm just going to tell you it means prepares. And then notice how we had equus, spelled E-Q-U-U-S, up here, equus as horse, but down here in the actual sentence, we have equum, spelled E-Q-U-U-M. Well, we added that M onto it, so it lets me know that it's the object. So you come from para back to equum, and plaustrum is the same thing. It has my fancy M on it. So the sentence means, Corinthus prepares the horse and the wagon. Corinthus prepares the horse and the wagon. Now also, take a note of something here. Notice how the word plaustrum, there's a lot of info here, by the way. Notice how the Latin word plaustrum has the same spelling always. Up here it was plaustrum, and down here it was plaustrum. And we didn't have to add an M to it. Remember, we said we usually make a Latin word into the object by adding the letter M, but some words like plaustrum already start with an M, so we don't have to do anything else to it. So this word plaustrum could actually technically be either the subject or the object, and you have to figure out what it is, because this word has to be my subject, this word has to be my verb, so then this one has to be the object, because it wouldn't make sense for it to be a subject. Okay, and let's do our last box now. Box 6. Pandora familiam curat. This is Pandora right here, and this is the familia. Hopefully you see how the word familia changed from F-A-M-I-L-I-A to F-A-M-I-L-I-A-M to let you know that it is the object. So you go from Pandora to what she does, curat, and then you find your object. So the sentence in English turns out to be, Pandora takes care of the family. And that's actually where the story ends. So once you've finished watching this video, go ahead and complete the Google form and answer the questions that I asked on this video. And that's all for this time. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Wale.